Alright, this video I'm going to show you guys how to mount this stadium seat in here, and it is completely 100% removable. You can take it out, you can drop it in when you get down to the bank, and you don't have to worry about the added weight. If you also want to see any videos on how I did the fish finder install, the Scotty mount rod holder right here and this paddle mount rod holder on this side, you can watch some of the other videos as well. I'll also have another video coming up on how I'm going to be mounting the trolling motor on the back of this thing and the steering setup and all that. So keep watching if you want to figure out how to mount this seat in here. Alright, this video here I'm going to show you guys real easy how to make one of these kayak or one of these stadium seats fit. And the main reason that I bought this kayak specifically was because it was lightweight. It's a small kayak, and I want to be able to take that seat out when I'm carrying this kayak and just set it. I can set the seat in once I get the kayak to the bank. So I want the seat removable. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and knock these two rivets out. Get them out of your way. Get this seat off. I'm not going to be using this seat at all. Next thing you're going to want to do is set this seat in here. And you're going to want to mark this with the seat closed. So what you're going to do, you can see right here I have a hole right here. This is my original location where my strap was that went through this original seat. It went through the back of it. We're going to be using that strap that originally came with this seat. So you can cut these or do whatever you want to do, but get that strap out of here. And what you're going to do is where that strap was attached, you're going to take this rivet out, and then you're also going to take this rivet out on this side also. Take both of those off, and you're going to relocate both of those down here to the bottom of the seat. There's going to be one right here, and there's going to be one right here on the other side. And when you mark those, make sure that this seat is folded down, because if it's up all the way and you have this seat back farther, when you go to close this, it's going to move your seat back up towards the front if you don't have it in the right spot. So mark it with the seat down. I've already marked mine, so I'm going to come through and drill this out. I'm going to be using the same drill bit and the same really coarse threaded sheet metal screws that I showed you guys that I used on the Scotty mount that this camera's hooked to, which is a rod holder mount. And I also used those screws on that paddle holder right there. I had a video on that. I believe it was video number 3 on the Pelican build, if you guys want to check that out. But I'm going to be using these same screws. I got a pack of 50 of these for like $5 at Tractor Supply. These work great on this plastic. It grabs really good. So you're going to want to use a real small drill bit. Alright, so here's the one that came off of the right hand side, this side over here of the kayak. You're going to save these washers that came off when you took those rivets out. You're going to save those. Now you can use a punch on those. You can punch those out with a punch and a hammer. Or you can go through and use just like just a flathead screwdriver and a hammer and get this back behind there and smack it real hard, and you can break them rivets off. Just be careful not to poke a hole in the kayak when you're doing it. So you're going to go ahead and use this same washer. You're going to thread this. Actually, we'll run the washer on first because this is a tight fit. So these screws, these are 12 by 1.5 inches. Item 41606 at Tractor Supply. These fit perfect. You're going to have to thread them on because you can't just push it in. There we go. Yeah, you can push it in a little bit. Alright. This is the one for the other side. I'll go ahead and put it on also. They're a tight squeeze. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do, once you drill that hole down here, you can run these in with a drill, but do not tighten them down with the drill. Just run them in, get most of your length down inside of that kayak. But do not tighten them. Do not over tighten these. Whatever you do, do not over tighten these, because they won't hold. Once you over tighten them, you're screwed. You'll have to move up to a bigger screw to get it to grab. So like I said, just run them in with the drill just to get them started or whatever. Once you get it to that point, this is still loose. I can almost stick my finger up in underneath it. There's a big gap right there still. Like I said, do not tighten these. I cannot stress that enough. Do not over tighten these. Tighten until they're snug, and that's it. You can see I'm moving the whole boat with that. Alright, same thing on this side. Take your existing strap that you had, that you took off from right here, and relocate it down here where you put that mark on there, where you marked it down on the side. So you're just moving both of these down to the bottom is all you're doing. Now what you're going to do, I'll have a link in the description to the seat. Also guys, when you buy these seats, before you ever go out on the water, make sure you do this. Absolutely make sure you do it, or you will regret it. This bar right here, drill these out, take these two pieces of wood off the middle of this right here, and get you a piece of pipe insulation, just a piece of foam pipe insulation, and put over this. You can get it at Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot, any hardware store sells it, but it's black, it's like a dark gray color. And put it over this, because after you're out for about 3 or 4 hours, trust me, that thing right there will start getting to your back a little bit. These are great seats. They're real sturdy, they're real comfortable. Other than that, alright, so now what you're going to do, one more thing I will mention. You have this piece that has this loop on it that is normally on the end of this. When you get this, when you buy it brand new, it'll have this piece on it. Chop that off, get that out of the way. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to heat this up. Make sure you heat this up and melt that down so it doesn't fray off. But you want to shorten that, and it also makes it easier to get through this loop down here where my finger is. Because when you have this bigger area on this, you're not going to want to mess with that every time you get out to the lake. You're going to have to try and dig that through this loop. And there's not a whole lot of room in this loop to get that through there, so that's why I cut that off. So what you're going to do, bring this thing underneath. See if I can see that. Bring it underneath. It's going to go over the top of this bar. And you're going to come from underneath back up like this. And then you're going to go over the top of this bar. And you're going to attach it to this buckle right here. Make sure you pull it tight. Try and get it somewhat snug before you run it through this top one. And that's it, guys. That puppy ain't going nowhere. The problem you have is when you lean back on these seats, when you lean back, the front of this flips up. If you can hook the front of that down, that's all you got to do. So that's a real simple, easy hack. The only thing you're going to have to get, if you don't have any at home, is these 2 screws right here on each side, and the seat, of course. Like I said, I will have a link in the description to the seat. So that's going to be it, guys. This is the Pelican Castaway 100.